So the reason they left was I decided to go on it on my own. And I felt that, yes, the business is registered. Yes, you've got a website. Yes, you've got business cards. But, if you're not really trading, you're not really a business. We'll take it again from the top. Hi, I am Jean-Luc Kwete, known as Rudy, and I'm the Managing Director at Snap Concept Agency. And I am in the kitchen, and I'll be making an Avo chickpea sandwich.
All right. So, Rudy, Jean-Luc, what must we call you?
Whichever one you
prefer. Whichever one, okay. So, if you had to tell us what your company does in a nutshell, if you had to explain it to your grandmother, how would you explain it to her?
I think it's quite simple. We create experiences that invoke emotions to drive purchase for consumers on behalf of brands and create a good time whilst doing it at the same time.
Are you sure your grandmother would understand?
She definitely understands what a good time is. So we do this obviously on behalf of brands mostly. So how do you put together a formula that allows people to market to people and have a good time at the same time? So this is where we come in and we build an experience around the two.
Okay, so basically your business is built around experiences, creating experiences and tying those experiences to the customers of the brand that you're creating the experiences for.
Correct.
All right. And when you were growing up, is that what you wanted to do? Is that what you wanted to do?
Not a chance. So unfortunately for me and most African young men, we find ourselves with parents who almost tell you what you're going to be when you grow up. I wasn't one of the lucky ones who was told, whatever it is that you want to study, I was meant to do engineering, I was meant to be a doctor, accountant, something that, parents would be proud of. And, as I grow older, as I went through the life cycle of high school and after matric, life didn't go as planned. I didn't get accepted into the university of my choice for civil engineering, and I thank God that, that never happened because, I think what I'm doing today is testament of that.
All right. And so, you did a brief stint as a pilot, so we've been told.
You've been told.
So we've been told. So you're at flight school, and then you start a company called JTC with 3 of your friends.
Yeah.
And then they leave because they say it's a joke. Why did they think it was a joke?
So the reason they left was I decided to go on it on my own.
Okay.
At a time. I was very frustrated. I was going through, I was working at a very fast pace. I don't like to procrastinate. And I felt that, yes, the business is registered. Yes, you've got a website. Yes, you've got business cards. But, if you're not really trading, you're not really a business. So I felt at the time, I needed to literally go on my own, and I made a move where I said to them, listen guys, I've done this much of stuff in the last few weeks, and at this point, I don't think there's a place for you anymore. Obviously they didn't take that well.
Yeah.
But we move. We ended up hashing that out, and things kept moving, and until we obviously then renamed the business under COVID-19, which was long overdue.
Okay. And so, obviously from the stage where, you were pushing out grind and, you felt like you needed to just put yourself out there. Obviously it wasn't easy. You probably didn't start with the most resources in the world. How did you, take the little resources that you had and get, big players to eventually trust you? Were there any people involved in that?
So the story of how we, ran the business, my brother obviously joined me, and he's my current partner and co-founder. I was at flight school at the time, and I would fly early in the morning, get back, go to work and I would work with my brother, but it wasn't working at the time. So we then decided, listen, in order to understand what it is that we're doing, we need to intern for someone. So there's a lady who helped us out along the way by the name of Helen Aratheli, who was running an agency that had experienced some issues along the way. And we then did a joint venture with her where we were helping her business and running a business. And I think that's where we learned, how things work, how to cost. And when I say intern, I'm saying it in the most humbling, position ever. But I ran campaigns for this lady. I managed staff. I managed resources that she had to ensure that we were executing correctly for her clients. And you gain the experience, you start knowing people, and people move around. People move to companies, to different companies, and they remember your name, they have your cell phone numbers. And lucky for me at the time, I was using my own business line, so that number hasn't changed. So people move to different companies, they have different needs at those companies, they're probably not happy with the agencies they find at that company. And I think we all always looking for comfort. When you're in a new job, you want someone who's going to help you shine. You want someone who's going to help you get on your feet. So those type of relationships go a long way, where someone moves to a different business and you now have access to that business, because I'm in this business and I want someone I can trust, and I want someone who I know will deliver for me. So you then reach out to people and that's how you then start building relationship. It's been quite a long time I've worked obviously in companies that have been at the forefront of managing and executing events, campaigns for brands. So I think that exposure has obviously helped along the way in terms of conversations and understanding what is needed from some of these brands to then tailor my services to what their needs are.
Okay. So what are you made a chickpea something
chickpea
sandwich.
avo sandwich,
Are you a vegan? Like, what's going on?
Not vegan at the moment, just watching what I eat. So, I've become health conscious over the last year or so due to COVID-19. And nothing happened to me, but I had contracted COVID, and I believe it's because of how I was eating at the time. My health habits were great at the time that it was almost a breeze. I contracted, went into isolation, but I was going crazy because I was waiting for something to happen that never came. So thank God for that. But yeah, health is power. And I think this, with the way we work, sometimes we forget to eat properly. Sometimes you're not taking up the right nutrients. I've just decided to ensure that, yes, we work in all this madness, but my health does come first. So really, really taking care of me at the moment.
I think if you had to leave with any remarks, would you say that the crucial link to getting your foot in the door was going to work with or for someone that already had their foot in the industry, and then just building relationships from there?
Yeah, so look, at the time for me, yes, that was the only way. I remember, I started off going, I'm gonna start a promotions company. And at the time they said to me, oh, never. I worked with some guys who were like, no, guys, no. There isn't a lot of young black guys who are running these type of business. It's usually white females and So I took that as a challenge. I was like, wow, okay, why can't I do it? I think obviously we were in social media age at the same time, but it was Facebook. It wasn't as as accessible as it is now. So at the time for me, that was the best route to gain myself, because they are gatekeepers, the people who have been with brands for years and years and years and years, who are continuing to do work. And I think you just don't know how to approach these brands, you know. So I think you're as good as your last work. You're as good as your last interaction with someone. You're as good as, you know, the impression you made on this person. And I think that's how people are getting work. Ask anyone who starts a new agency who does not have access to procurement people, does not have access to information on how RFPs are sent out. You'll never know. How do you know when an opportunity is out? They don't manage their opportunities like the government. There's a tender that's out. You need to go for the briefing and pitch, and then we'll select. They don't do that. There's people who are selected, and you know, and those people are the people who pitch, and again, they compete against each other, and the best one wins at the time. So, is there an issue with that? Maybe not. It's working. Maybe there needs to change to ensure that there's creativity, there's fresh blood, and there's younger generation who are coming in to then take the brands forward. All
right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the platform and sharing some of your experience.
Thank you. You know, in the kitchen, guys, there's some really, really interesting meals here. Come check it out.
Yeah, and you have to say things like subscribe to the YouTube channel and all those things. Hit the bell. I don't know what they say.
Subscribe. All right, let's take it again, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, In the Kitchen, and check it out on LinkedIn as well, I think.
Yes.
It's such an amazing experience, so thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Cool.
Cheers. And cut.